Alright, welcome back guys, or welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm going to be giving you my review of The 100, Season 5, Episode 1, titled Eden. Now, if The 100 is something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon, that way you don't miss any future videos on The 100 moving forward. Now, let's begin. Now, first off, I just want to mention this, that I know when a lot of people talk about the show and review it or whatever, they usually never talk anything negative. And they usually, in my opinion, kiss the ass of the show and say it's all great. However, I'm going to be talking about some of the negative things I think that happened in this episode and in the show in general. So just letting you know that firsthand, because I'm not just going to be talking about the good stuff. I'm going to be talking about the bad stuff and some things I'm mixed on. But let's begin, starting with Clark's story. And I like what they do with Clark's story in this episode. I wish they kind of done a whole episode devoted to just Clark in this episode, and then done Bellamy's group and then Octavia's group in the next episode. But for what we got, I think it was pretty decent. So first off, we got her digging out the rubble right away, 42 days after Prime Fire. And this is the first thing that I'm going to say was a negative to me, because she comes out, from what I understand, 42 days after Prime Fire, and how is she alive? Like, was there any food down there? Was there any water? Like, how's her hair so perfect? Like 42 days after Prime Fire, how is she alive? How'd she eat? How'd she drink? Like, that's my question firsthand. Like, that didn't make any sense. I think there could have been a little more detail given into that, because it just feels like there's a lot of plot holes in that first few minutes right there as to how she survived for 42 days in, I guess, what the remnants of Allie's lab. And then you got her coming up, and this is my second con I had right over the episode, is that the Death Wave destroyed Allie's lab, Polis, and Arcadia, but yet the rover is like just buried underneath the sand and like isn't perfect tact and you can work it. Like, that makes zero sense. That thing should have been just destroyed and demolished. I get what they were going for. She needs a way to transport around, but still, it makes zero sense as to why the rover was in completely perfect shape. Like, it should have been destroyed. And then we move on, and we got her going to Polis. And I love the atmosphere there. I love the whole tower destroyed and everything. I love that scene. And then you got her trying to dig and get to the bunker. Now, on first view, and I thought, okay, I get it. She wants to maybe get to them and see if they're okay or whatever. But then it's revealed she wanted to live with them and live out in the bunker with them. And that's just stupid. I want to know who wrote this, because that was just the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard of. Because think about it. They're drenched in radiation outside, and Clark is going to go there. They're not going to open the door for Clark, first off. The minute they open that door to let Clark in, the radiation will get in there and everybody in the bunker will die. So whoever even thought about that was an idiot. Whoever wrote that scene where she goes to the bunker was extremely stupid. I know you might say, oh, it's just Clark, and Clark might have not been thinking, but no. Clark should have known that. She should have known that if she went there, she would have been exposing them all to radiation. She should have known that, and the writer should have known that, and that should have never been in there. That was extremely stupid, dumb. I don't care what the explanation for that is, but it was extremely stupid as to why she would have gone to the bunker and tried to live there. And then you got her going to Arcadia. And I love this scene where you got the bones and all the remnants of the hero that committed suicide. And I love how she found Jasper's goggles and his suicide note. I love that scene. And then you got her breaking down and crying. And as much as I like the scene and her showing emotion and stuff, it felt forced in my opinion. A lot of the Clark scenes in this episode, especially when she shows emotion, when she's yelling down at the bunker, here, and in the desert when she's near committing suicide, a lot of them feel forced. And I feel like a lot of the scenes, even when she got her leg trapped in a bear trap, a lot of them felt like they took the camera, set action, and the actor just showed some emotion. It didn't feel genuine. It didn't feel like she was actually like acting. It felt just like she was acting, and it just didn't feel realistic in my opinion. But I like what they did there. And then you had her living in a rover. Still don't understand how the rover's working, but that's a side step that I'm going to move on from now. And then you have her living in a rover, and then the rain comes, and this is another stupid thing that I don't understand is she runs outside and just runs into the rain. That could have been black rain. Like, idiot writing, and again, you could say Clark's just desperate, but still, idiot writing. She should have at least thought about it, gone out with some protection at least. It just made zero sense. That could have been black rain, and yes, she's a Nightblood, she would have survived it, but still, you gotta be smart with these things. Like, if she drank it, she could have killed herself, pretty much. And again, yes, she's a Nightblood, but still, they gotta use some brains here. It, like, doesn't make any sense. And I like the sandstorm and then the rover not working and her setting off on foot for a while. And that draws another question into later in the story when her and Maddie are in the rover. Like, how's the rover working when it didn't stop working earlier in the episode? That's another plot hole I think that they have in the episode. So then you got her wandering for the desert. And I really like these scenes. So great. I love the atmospheric of the post-apocalyptic world. I love that. And then you got her taking the gun and about to commit suicide. And oh my god, I love this scene so much. I've seen a lot of hate online for it, saying that's Ada Clarke's character. But for me, I think this is a realistic response to someone who's lost everything, can't get in contact with the people she knows, her friends, her family, the people she loves. This is a realistic response to someone who would do this, and I love it because it's so realistic. My only con in this scene is that it just went too quick. They should have had her holding the gun to her head a little longer, maybe her sticking the barrel of the gun in her mouth or something like that, holding up to her chin. Like, that would have, I think it would have been so much better. I know, like, people are going to say, but that's too dark. No, this is a show about people surviving the post-apocalyptic world. This should be a dark show. This should be a lot more grittier, and that I wish they had done something a little bit more with her about to commit suicide, because that was great. And then you got her finding the bird and finding the Green Valley. Now, again, I hope there's a lot of an explanation as to how the Green Valley is survived. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, from a story standpoint, they need to explain how that happened, because it just makes zero sense. I know you can't just have them surviving in the desert. You need them to survive somehow, because the desert atmosphere would probably come bland after a while. But I think what they did, they need to explain it, because they need to explain how the Green Valley came to be. And then you got her finding it, and I love the atmosphere of the Green Valley. I think it's going to be a great set piece for season 5. And you have her seeing these people dead from the radiation, not the death wave, which I really like. And then you have her finding Maddie. And right away, I think they did some good stuff here with Maddie. Again, the bear trap stuff. I don't believe a little kid would be able to set up a bear trap. So that's a iffy thing for me. I think it's 50-50. And then the wound she gets from the bear trap, that should have caused her to need to amputate her leg. That looked horrible. And then you have her jumping in the river earlier on. And again, I'm going back to the rain. That was a stupid decision. First off, if you're backing up in season 1, episode 1, when Octavia jumped in the river, she got attacked by a snake. That should have been the first thing coming to Clark's mind right away. And second, that thing could have been filled with radiation. That was stupid again. They should have never included that. And I just think it was ridiculous. And then you have her and trying to become friends with Maddie. And I get we need to rush some things, but I feel like they should have shown a little bit more of her and Maddie getting to know each other instead of having Maddie see her drawing and then jump into 6 years later, because it just feels like we skipped a whole bunch of stuff. I hope we get more flashbacks to that time period. Otherwise, I think it's going to be complete a waste. They should have just dragged out the entire Clark arc into this one episode, because if we don't get anything else, I think that's such a waste and such a horrible, bad writing right there. But we got them jumping forward to 6 years, and I do genuinely feel like they have done a good job portraying, in a sense, the Clark and Maddie mother-daughter relationship. I think that's a good thing to do, especially with Clark. I'm very interested to see how that plays out. Again, though, I really hope they give us more flashbacks into their story, and I'm interested to see where it goes with these two characters in season 5. And I like how they used them and transitioned her and Maddie talking by the fire, and how they transitioned that into Bellamy and the Space Crew's storyline. Then we move up to Bellamy and Space Crew, and I really like what we got here with them. this was an interesting dynamic, I think, because I like how they have grown closer and come like a good, like, kind of family unit. But then my con for this is Murphy. Because I feel like it's just a repeat and hashing out old things that should have been resolved within the 6 year time jump. And him and Amori breaking up, well, some could say yes, it's realistic that someone would break up during this time jump. It didn't feel genuinely like they broke up. It felt forced, and I hope we get some flashbacks as to why they broke up. And I do like how it transitioned to Imori and Raven's relationship. And I'm interested to see how their friendship has become in these 6 years. And I don't ship them at all. I know a lot of you are probably immediately going to ship Imori and Raven. Hate that idea. I don't want that to happen. And I'm interested to see how that plays out. And then you got Monty and Harper, and I really love their relationship. Theirs is probably the one in the show next to the Kane and Abby that feels genuinely realistic in a sense that they would seem like an actual couple in a real world situation. So I really like that. The only con is I feel like Murphy questioning what he's done and what he has to do to survive. It's iffy for me. I'm mixed on it because it seems realistic in one sense, but also seems forced at the moment. Then we move on to Bellamy and Echo. And now, if you saw my prediction video for death predictions, I said I hated the idea of him and Bellamy and Echo getting together. However, I'm interested to see where it goes. And this is not because I know it's going to sound like, oh, I'm shipping them. No, I absolutely hate ships. I disagree with them at all. I hate the Blark ship. I hate the Becco ship. I hate every ship out there pretty much. But this one, I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm interested to see why they got together because there's a lot of history between these two of them that's negative. So I'm interested to see how it was resolved in the 6 year time jump. So I'm interested to see where it goes, and I'm hoping they do a good job explaining it. And I'm interested to see why they got together, how they got together, how long they've been together. I think they said maybe 3 years. I'm not sure, but I'm interested to see where it goes. And then again, it's not me. I'm shipping them. It's just that I'm interested to see the dynamic of their relationship. Again, I hate ships, but I'm just interested to see where it goes in season 5. Then we got the prisoners, and I absolutely love these characters already. I love the leader and Paxton, her second in command. And then you got Zeke, who seems like the good guy, going to be our double agent with our heroes. I feel like that's a little bit too predictable right off the bat. I hope it's switched and Paxton's the double agent and Zeke's the real bad guy. I really hope they switch that because right now it's a little bit too predictable. But I'm interested to see what they do with these characters. Love them already. Feel like an actual threat to our heroes. And I'm interested to see how they move on with the story, what goes on with their story, what's driving them other than it just being the last survivable land, because they gotta have a purpose other than that, in my opinion. But I'm very interested to see what they do with them and how they fit the mold of the show and interact with our heroes and just how they interact in season 5 overall and maybe even future moving on to season 6 if we get there in the 100. So yeah, guys, that's my review of the 100 Season 5, Episode 1, Eden. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to subscribe down below and hit the bell icon that way you don't miss any future videos of the 100 moving forward. And if you have any suggestion videos you'd like to see me do on the 100, let me know in the comment section down below. There's been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I will see you next time.